Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's Mike Pisani with Alpha Shark. It's August 2nd, and tonight I have a webinar for you guys. I want to talk about the rest of the summer, and I have some institutional flow to go over with you, along with sentiment, right? And then I'll do a few of your charts, guys, before we wrap it up tonight. How's that sound? As always, the best way to get a hold of me is through email at mike@smartoptiontrading.com. That's where I have my service through. On Twitter, @OptionsMike. You guys should all follow me on Twitter, not just because I want a lot of Twitter followers. The real reason is I post tons of charts. I put some free videos up there. I put some free information out there all the time. And when I put stuff out there, guys, it's actionable. And that's why I'm telling you guys should follow me out there, not to toot my own horn. Thanks, JD. So, this is when you come there, this is what I'll look like, so you'll know exactly what you're getting into. You have the right person. All right. Oops. There we go. So Options Mike. And that's, what I look like. And on YouTube is where I post all my videos. That's youtube.com/OptionsMike. All right. Risk disclaimer. Day trading, short-term trading, options trading, and futures trading are extremely risky undertakings. They are generally not appropriate for someone with limited capital, little or no trading experience, and/or a low tolerance for risk. Never execute a trade unless you can afford to and are prepared to lose your entire investment. All trading operations involve serious risk, and you can lose your entire investment. No trades are recommendations or advice, and we cannot be sued for losses of capital. All trades are for educational purposes only. Contact your broker or RIA for execution, margin, and other capital requirements. Everyone watching presentation adheres to all disclaimers from alphashark.com and myself, Mike Pisani. All right, so tonight, talk about the rest of summer for a bit. Want to go over sentiment with you guys. I have 3 institutional flow opportunities I want to go over. They're kind of lean here. Talk to you about a class I did. Go back over that. I have a couple new ones I'm going to be offering in the fall. And then finally, we'll go over your charts tonight. So I hope that sounds good to everybody. Welcome, everybody coming in here a little bit late. You haven't missed anything yet. All right, put something else on my throat here. All right, so we have about 6 weeks of summer left, right? So the first thing I thought I'd start off with, I want you guys to look at a bunch of charts, and I want you guys to take a hard look at these charts. And, sometimes we get really emotional about things, right? We get really caught up in the moments of stuff. So I am in no way bearish on the markets here right now. And I really want to say that. But this is where I do try to temper your enthusiasm a little bit, right? Keep your expectations in check. Okay. So look at this chart. Any idea what that is? Nope. Not Netflix. Anybody else want to take a guess? SPY. It is the SPY. Anybody want to guess what time period? Not 6 months, not a year. That is a 6-week look at the SPY from August 1st last year through mid-September on a daily chart. Why do you think I'm showing you this to you guys tonight? What do you think the purpose here is of this? We're back. It's a summer trading pattern. How much movement do you see on this chart during this 6 weeks? Right? Not much, right? Pretty quiet. Look how tight those candles getting small. Then we got a little weakness, came back and forth, and then in the end we ramped up. Okay, look at the volume down below. I put that on there for a reason. Take a look at it. All right, let's take another look. 2016, same period. We'll get there, Christopher. Nice thought. Right? What do you notice again? For the most part, we just kind of go sideways, right? Other than we had the event in 2016. What was the event in 2016? Brexit. Brexit. Greg's got it. Brexit. Right? That's the only thing that woke us up. Okay? Uh-oh. Lost my 2015. All right. Sorry about that. 2014. Right? Other than the dip we had coming in, very flat, very thin. So I'm not showing this to you guys to say that this year is different. Is going to be like this. I'm showing this to you guys because I want you to get the concept here that the next 6 weeks are usually a chop fest within the markets. It doesn't, and that does not mean that this year is not going to be it. That does not mean that we cannot go and break out on the SPY to an all-time high, which has been lagging everything, right? I'm not trying to say we can't. I'm saying look at the charts, and historically, this is a very tough time of year. Yeah, I know they're raising interest rates in England, right? So look at these charts. Very, very tough time of year. So I only put this here just so to show you guys that think now. It's time to think. I often tell people in my service and traders this is some of the toughest trading this next 6 weeks. Yep, volatility is too low. Though we're getting move. Yeah, volatility is low, but we're getting movement. We're getting wide range candles with low volatility, Christopher, which is kind of interesting. All right. So I call this welcome to the chop zone, right? August and the beginning September are normally extremely choppy, right? And I say yes, September. Why? Because everybody thinks September comes and, the Tuesday after Labor Day, everybody's back at it. Guess what? It's usually not to the following Monday. Most of the big traders don't come back or don't really start doing stuff until the second week after Labor Day. So everybody here who thinks that everything automatically picks up the day after Labor Day, reset. Make sense? Just know that that is not necessarily true. Okay? Range bound. Big time characteristic of this market here as we move forward. Many equities and indexes stay in a range, in well-defined ranges. They can sit here for a while, they'll chop around, but they may or may not move. And then the other thing we tend to see during this time of period is stronger reaction to news and events, right? Often overdone. As the algos start the selling or buying, and many of the big traders are in the Hamptons, and they don't react right away, right? So most of the big guys aren't at their desks for August, right? You guys know that. If you go to the trading desks on the exchanges and in the big firms, they're not there. They're gone. Most of them aren't there right now. So think about this week. Think about what was it? Was it yesterday morning? Yesterday morning we had no. It was what morning? It was yesterday Wednesday morning, where just before the market opened, there was a rumor out that China and the United States had restarted negotiations, and the SPY popped huge on massive volume in the last 10 minutes or so before the market opened, right? Only to give it all back last night on the rumors that China's going to retaliate. And then today we bought it all back up again. So with the bigger guys out, you're going to see the algos have their ways more and more often. So that's I think what I want you guys to be aware of, and that's what I want you guys to think about here. That makes some sense? I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to cough on you. All right. So this market right now does not look like those charts, does it? Right now, this market is alive. We have some wide range candles coming in. Volume is remaining better than it normally is this time of year. But today and tomorrow morning mark the end of the big earnings weeks, right? Earnings never really ends, right? We used to have an earnings season Anybody notice how earnings just goes on and on and on and on now, right? It never ends. There's earnings pretty much every day throughout the entire course of the year now. But within this week, I think almost most of the S&P 500 has now reported. So the big earnings names are just about pretty much mostly done here. All right, so we're losing that catalyst here. So how do you trade for the next 6 weeks, guys? And this is important. I cannot stress this enough. Be picky. And I know picky is an interesting word and nobody loves it, but don't just follow option flow. Oh my God, unusual option flow. I'm all over it. Think first. Think. Look at the setup. Is it a good technical setup? Is it bad? Is this a good spot to buy it at today, or is it not? Right? Don't just go because it's there. Buy time. If they're playing weeklies, you may not want to play weeklies unless you're willing to lose it all. Go out into September or October. I took PayPal calls yesterday. We're going to show you that one for October. Go out in time. Time is your friend. Gives your trade time to work. So you're not sitting there watching candles on it every minute, right? Tick by tick. Making you feel like you need to get in or out of it. Buy time. Let the trade go out there and work for you. Okay. What else? Play smaller. Cannot stress this one enough. Half size, quarter size is fine. If you're playing big names like Tesla or Netflix or Google or Amazon that can move a ton, buy one call. Let it come to you. Go out of the money, buy one call, and let it come to you. Go for the big percentage win and just let it work. The worst thing you can do here is get yourself chopped up and start giving back your hard-fought earnings this year, right? And if you haven't had a good year, you want to play small, just try to put money in your pocket every day right now. Find a way, find a trade, put a couple bucks in your pocket, make it work. Keep moving forward, create momentum, find your style here. Sorry, guys, this time of night, after talking all day, my throat is really shot. Anyway, volume. I always talk to you guys about volume, right? Volume, go where the volume is. No volume, no play. I can't stress that enough. If you cannot find volume in the trade, stay away from it, right? If it's just not there, don't go. Any questions on the rest of the summer? I kind of wanted to drill that into your head. We've gone over this a couple times. I thought maybe this would help you guys get an idea of what to really be looking at here. Anything you want me to go over here that I didn't touch upon before I move on? Okay. Let's go into sentiment. There's some really interesting stuff going on here in sentiment land. So first off, our fear and greed index. Love this to look at this, right? Free. Everything I show you here is free. I do not have an indicator, TJ. I don't offer indicators. I have never found the need, for me personally, I've never found the need for one. Everything I need, I can get within a study within Thinkorswim or any other platform. I try to keep my charts pretty simple. Okay. So we're up to 69. So we're now getting into the greed zone, right? A couple weeks ago when I did this for you, last time we were at 31. So the pendulum has swung hard to the left, right. Sorry, I keep coughing and I just keep muting myself to not do it. All right, so we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. We're getting a little bit of a greedy type mindset here within everything, within the retail space, within that moving forward. All right, stock twit sentiment. Here's what's really interesting to me. Look at how low the SPY is getting here, right? It's really getting low again, down to 49%. It keeps dropping here. That tells me that this is the time to be looking at the SPY. I like to play the contrarian style versus this stuff, guys. When I see sentiment getting weak in a sector or an index or something, I want to start looking at it because that usually means that they're going to look to come there and rotate into it. So the banks had a move last week, right, and have been taking this week off. Wouldn't be surprised if they come back there. Energy sentiment's getting weak again, right? Another sector that could launch the SPY. So things to look at. Notice the Qs was weak, but now after Apple the last couple of days ramping back up here, right? Still nothing. When the Qs are smoking in sentiment, it's up over 80%, guys. So sentiment's pretty low overall. The retail. This is people like you and me, right? This is these sentiments are based upon retail investors like us. And look at the IWM here. Isn't that interesting? After leading us for a while now, sentiment's dropped all the way down to 51% on that one. Right? So seeing just a change here and stuff. Change. Right? All right. Oscillators. You guys, I know I love to look at this. So you know what I love about the oscillators the last week is the chances of us getting a dump, and I told everybody this in the Alpha Shark chat room and in my service, was slim. And the reason it was slim is because we were getting so extended to the downside on the oscillators that a massive dump was not likely in the cards. And here we are after a couple-day rally in the New York oscillator, the New York Stock Exchange oscillator, is still negative 58. Nowhere near up where we start to worry where we're over 100. We start feeling like we're getting a little bit in that overbought zone. The NASDAQ got really low, right? The tech washout really did its job. We got to negative 180. We're still negative 54, even after the 2 days of Apple and the big move up today we had in Facebook and Amazon again, right, and some of the other names. Look how bad the sentiment is there. Sentiment, the situation, the oscillator is still kind of negative. This is good for us. What I love about this is says that a deep sell-off is unlikely. And by deep sell-off, guys, I mean a correction like we had back in January, a 10 or 12% correction, right? That doesn't mean we can't sell off. It just says it's not likely, or at least it's not likely to be swift and fast straight down. We're likely to get into an overbought condition, oversold condition quickly and look for a reversion. Okay. Obviously, a black swan event negates all this stuff, right? You guys are aware of what I'm saying you understand what I mean by a black swan event? I'd like to see some yeses on that one. So if you guys are paying attention, some yeses, I understand yep. Thank you, JD. Digby, thank you, right? Okay. Thank you, Greg. Yep. Clear. Perfect. Right? A 9/11 financial crisis. Yeah. Those things, there's no indicator or overbought or any type of rating for something like that, right? Those things are what they are. There's nothing you can do. They're going to go as far as they're going to go. And there's going to be panic is what happens, right? Panic doesn't work for something like that. These don't work for panic. Nothing works for panic. Okay. So let's go to the SPY. The SPY here, we've been fighting against this 280 area since we basically corrected back in February. And we finally broke above it, came back below it, finally cleared it with power, came back below it again here, and now we're back up today. So we continue to play off this 280 level, but right now this 280 level, really right around 279, has become support. Was resistance, is now becoming support. I keep saying this, guys. I look at this chart. To me, this chart looks bullish. This week of weakness did its job. Look at RSI. Going into the end of last week, we were bumping up against the magic 70 number, right? You see it down here. I have it a little lower for you. Now we're down at 60. We're a stone's throw from the recent highs of 284.14. Look at this chart. Look at to the left of this chart. What do you notice? Once you get back above this 284.14, there is no real resistance up here, right? And that's the one thing I keep trying to point out to everybody in my service and to you guys. Once you clear this area, expect a quick move to an all-time high in the SPY because you have two candles there. Not much volume. This, yeah, sure, there's some bears, some bulls that are trapped up there that may still be holding, but not a ton. Yep, gaps are filled, David. I mean, obviously we left, yep, there's no gaps above. Yeah, there's some gaps down below that aren't filled, but we're not going to worry about those. So to me, gun to head, I still think we're making an all-time high sooner than later. Okay? You know, right now the market looks like it wants to go. It looks great. And the SPY has not yet made a new all-time high since the January one, right? What has? Okay, first the VIX. 1 second. VIX. Is the VIX showing any concern here? Right? Doesn't this look like a descending wedge? Right? We're descending down to this 11 area. I keep telling everybody, anytime the VIX is under 12, if you want to hedge with some VXX calls, that's the time to do it. Because right now, 12 has now become the reversion area for this year, right? Every time we get under 12, we pretty much pop back up. We don't get a huge move, but we get a pop up off of it. It's a great time. You know, protection's cheap. If you want to have a lot of trades on, put a little bit of hedge in place. Go out and make sure you capture September, because September typically is one of the toughest months. Right? But the VIX is showing no fear here at all. Okay, here's your cues, guys. Leading, right? We put in 3 all-time highs since the 2000 January top. We pulled back on, you know, and why did we pull back? What was the catalyst for the pullbacks here? Netflix is a good one. No, not tariffs, JD. Facebook, another good one. How about another one? Nobody talks about this one. Amazon missed on revenue. Nobody wants to talk that Amazon missed badly on revenue. A sign of change within the company. Intel, right? Other than Google and Apple, a lot of the tech names haven't been great for earnings, have they? They also, AMD was good too, though. We'll give that one. A lot of these names also came priced in for what? Priced for, what's the term you hear all the time? Yep, Christopher. Perfection, Greg, right. Price for perfection. When you, sorry guys, when you have a stock that is at an all-time high and has run a lot going into earnings, it's priced for perfection. You need an unbelievable number to move it. Bottom line. Now, I will tell you, Apple blew it out of the park on every metric you could ask for. And guess what we're about to get in about 60 days? Give or take. Maybe closer to 70. What happens in 70 days with Apple? Every year. Refresh cycle, Greg, right. New iPhones, new stuff, right? New iPhones, new iPads, what else? Who knows? Big sale opportunity coming in. Exactly. All right. But today's candle in the Qs, look what happened here. We came down, we held the 50-day again. What have you noticed here? Look at this, the last 2 times we pulled back on the Qs, where did we hold? The 50-day. Did it again. Bounced off, beautiful candle today. Look at RSI, so much room to run it back up now. You know, this market could catch fire. I'm looking at these FANG names and I'm going, these things could get on fire again here. Okay, so maybe this comes back. We'll see. You know, we'll see how this plays out. But this looks good. Back above the previous high. Broke back above here quickly. Didn't even think about it, right? That blue line. Back above all the moving averages. IWM. It's been consolidating. Look at this nice little trend line that's developed here, right? Nice little trend line down there, a little uptrend. Today was a nice candle. Retook all the moving averages on that one today. Right? RSI coming back up a little bit, plenty of room to run. Yeah, this had a huge move for it, right? Finally broke out and led, had a huge move, getting a little choppier up here. But maybe it's just consolidating. And, you know, a lot of the small cap names haven't reported yet. They tend to come a little later. So maybe it's just waiting its time here. All right, guys. Any questions on any of the sentiment stuff I've gone over with you in some of those charts? Okay. So Institutional flow. The one thing I would stress upon you guys is the last 3 weeks or so, institutional flow has sucked. That's a technical term. You can look it up. Or I'll put it on my website, and then you guys can get it off of there. It's been earnings based, and it's really been horrific. It's kept me playing light and small and scalping more than swing trading by far. But there has been a couple buys that have caught my attention. So first up, American Airlines. Now, I'm not a huge airline fan. I just don't trade these things well. Honest answer. That said, I have to respect the buying that has come into this the last 3 days, although the stock keeps dropping. I'm not in it. I will tell you it's on my radar. The January 42 calls, right? The opening sweep there, 2,600 of them. See that in the bottom right, 3 days ago, caught my attention. What didn't catch my attention was the chart. I looked at it and I said, Then go fast forward, right? January 46 calls, $1.23 million sweep into those, 9,000 of them. Way up here, somebody's playing for a move towards the 200-day. Caught my attention. Look at the reaction on the stock that day. Nothing good. Didn't take it. Today, a little bit more buying. A little bit of a reversal candle today, right? Hammer reversal here in the name. If you like the airlines, there's some nice buying coming into this name. Certainly something I would take a look at if you like them. The rest of the airlines aren't picking up buying like this. Make sense? Play small though. Halliburton, energy. One of the sectors I'm looking at here again is the energy sector. So I've been doing a lot of reading on oil and energy, and I don't play oil, and I don't understand how the damn commodity actually moves, because what I think is good news, half the times they sell it off. When I think is bad news, half the times they buy it up. That's beside the point. What I will say to you is everything I'm reading is demand is outpacing supply and is likely to accelerate in the second half of this year and into next year. And the lack of investment that the drilling companies and the exploration companies have put in the last couple of years because of low oil prices, it's going to make it hard for them to catch up fast. I've also been reading that potentially Saudi Arabia is at close to max output. So, where's that production going to come from? If that's the case, energy names should be in for a boon as oil takes off again. Could also create problems for the stock market, but that's a different story. So the last couple of days the last 2 days they come into Halliburton, and they've been using the January 47 calls. And you can see the flow here. They come in a bunch of times for it over the last 2 days. What I like is they keep coming. Is the chart a good-looking chart? No, it's not a good-looking chart. I'm not in it yet. I'm watching it. I have it written down. I'm keeping an eye on Halliburton, but I'm not going over it. Yeah, Mark. The refiners are operating at full capacity, but we need this is the problem. We're going to need to have more of it available. By the way, your Bears are up 7-0. It's a nice chart. If you like energy, this is the name that's been picking up the most flow recently. Again, I'm not in it yet. I'm not trying to sell you guys on this. I'm giving you some of the best of the flow of the last couple of days. Oh, I lost PayPal. How did that happen? All right, well, let's just go to PayPal real quick. I'll pull it up in a chart for you. Somehow I got missed off here. Sorry. PayPal is easy. Yesterday afternoon, I'm in these. They came in and they bought the October 8750 calls hard. Okay. Look at this nice candle today off a square, right? Beautiful candle. We've seen this before. They came in big for the name down here off the 200-day. Again, bad earnings, big dip, down to the 100, held. They came back in here again. I'm in on these. I'm green. And I'm trying to give them a little bit of room. So I'd keep my eye on that. If you like PayPal, that was a nice buy with Square closing at all-time highs today. It's another name I would keep my eyes on. Another name in the segment that had flow today was FDC, First Data Corp. They like the payment space. I think it was JP Morgan that upgraded the entire group about a week ago, just before PayPal's earnings. So, again, things I like. So those are the three that have my attention. One of them I'm in. All right. Educational offering. I've did this class for you guys. I know a lot of you participated in it. It's being offered on Replay, digital replay. It's about using technicals and options flow to day trade. And it goes over how to use the option flows, but where to look to get your entrances right and wrong, and also how to look at technicals. Sometimes you look at the option flow and you're like, I want to get in this, but you realize that something might be overheated. The flow sometimes has been misleading. A lot of times these guys are actually rolling up and out and taking profits. And some people misinterpret that as they're buying a new position. I was telling everybody in Apple today, a lot of the action late once we hit that 207 area was rolling out, rolling up. They were taking profits, and there was some pretty big put buying into Apple today too as we came up towards 207, which was interesting. So I like to use technical analysis to tell if this is spot good. Then I like to use an intraday chart to define my entrance to minimize my risk. And then we go out to there, and then we use the technicals to tell us when to get in and out of our position as well. All right, so this course goes over how to identify momentum flow, use technicals quickly to determine if the stock's in a good spot, talk about volume and what type of volume you're looking like on a daily chart or an intraday chart to get an entrance into it, how to set up your charts, how I set mine up, patterns to look for, different types of options we want to look for to play off of, and how to use stop losses. And I think that's kind of important, and where to start taking profits. A lot of people don't use stops on options, and I'm like, oh, that's, you're willing to lose 100%, that's fine, but I'm not losing to lose 100% unless I treat it as a play like that. So this is on demand at alphashark.com/education. You can go out there and get it. And it's includes an indicator from Andrew at AlphaShark, the TOS high-low indicator. And it's for $99. It's a 2-hour course. And if you have any questions, you guys can reach out to me. In addition to that, you provide proof of service. I will give you a free month within my service. Okay? Just send me a direct message or an email. Direct message me on Twitter at OptionsMike with a screenshot of it, or send me a message an email with it at Mike at smartoptiontrading.com. I'll give you a free month in my service. That's a $100 value as well. And then I'll start talking to you about my next course, which will probably be towards the end of September. Any questions on anything we've gone over here? Thanks, James. Did you like it? Perfect. Okay. All right. So thank you. Guys, let's do a little bit of chart work until my voice completely gives out. How does that sound? I don't know what footprint charts are, TJ. I apologize for that. But I really don't know what it is. Is that a charting software? Oh, I swing trade tons of unusual option activity. That PayPal I'm swinging from yesterday. Order flow software. I'm not familiar with it. I can't help you out. They show the order flow. I use Trade Alert. But I'm going to write it down and I'm going to take a look at it. How's that sound for a deal? You're welcome. I like Trade Alert a lot, but I'm always willing to try something else, guys. The one thing I will tell you about trading is you have to be flexible and willing to change, always. All right. You want me to look at Ross, and then you guys, any symbols you want me to take a look at here, put them out. You mean this little W right here on the last 5 days? Gotcha. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you, by the way? Um, when are earnings on this name? Retail was generally strong today. Uh, I don't know. I tend to. Ross has been one of the better names, Elizabeth. So if you like it, I'd stick with it. I'm generally shying away from retail names right now for the most part. They just don't seem to hold up well. They get a day or two and they turn over. But this is one of the better looking retailers out there. I mean, honestly, I have to tell you that. Earnings are August 23rd, so you got a little over a week to go. It's at an all-time high. It looks great here. It has room to run. That type of a candle, I would typically tell you, should lead to better, higher price action, right? Um, should lead to better price action. So I would tell you it should. The volume was decent on it, right? It was not bad volume on it. So I would tell you that should lead to price. It looks good. So it looks good. Again, retailers, I always a little bit concerned there, right? But looks good. Trade Alert, you can sign up for yourself, or you can use somebody like myself who has it. Sean, it's tradealert.com. You don't need any criteria. You don't need to be a. You don't need a Bloomberg terminal. It's right over web. Yep. Let's see what else. Yeah, Take Two had great numbers. They were up big last I saw. Go look again here. Yeah, they're up. They're up 11%. They're up around 126 right now. So, again, nice area, right? So, what do you got to love about this chart, right? Off the 200-day today area, held it here. Now it's going to open up right into this area. Looks like it probably wants to come and try to new highs. This is a name I'd look for potential squeeze play tomorrow. Potential on it as they try to squeeze the hell out of the shorts after that sell-off. Why is my questions area moving out of the way? Yep. Well, RSI is going to go hot. Sean, no, don't look at RSI here. RSI is going to go hot. Use Don, right? Because RSI is a measure of the speed of the rise. This thing's going to go from 113 to 126 on the open tomorrow. RSI is going to go right to 70 or damn close to it, would be my bet. Make sense? Here, look at Tesla today. Here, let's look at Tesla today. Come on, Tesla. Right? Look at the RSI turn and run up hard here on that. All right. Now, guys, Tesla today, what a move, right? Huge now gap to trade against down here. Huge move. $50 move in Tesla today for all intents and purposes is massive. If they want to squeeze the short, I'm glad somebody did because I missed it today. I made my money, though, on Square and on Micron. So, can't be too upset. If this is going to move now, if it really wants to squeeze the short, this is what you have to look at. It's got a lot of shorts trapped in here from down here, but to really squeeze the shorts, it's got to break here, right? Breaks the all-time high, and it starts to squeeze the hell out of them. Make sense? This is when overbought becomes inconsequential. Does that make sense? When you have a good old-fashioned short squeeze in place, overbought doesn't matter as much. It's not VRX anymore. It's BHC, right? Bausch and Lomb, which used to be VRX. Look how hot this thing was running through here, right? Look at this thing. Look at this move here. Look how hot it was. And what was happening in here? Squeezing the shorts. What happened when we broke here? Right? That key level. Hard squeeze, right? Didn't matter that RSI was almost 90. Didn't care. Squeezed the hell out of him until it was done. Sean, you know what, bud? I would tell you this. Never look back. You made money. One thing I could tell you guys to do is if you're struggling with that is to leave a runner. If you have 5 options, leave 1. Put a stop in place where you can live with it. If you have 10 options, leave 2. Make sense? Leave a runner. Let it go. Let it work for you. Greg, if you sign up for the link I sent you for my oh, excuse me. For my course, I'll give you a free month of my service. You guys can go to my website, smartoptiontrading.com. I give you $25 for the first 30 days every time as just a chance to get to know me. 30 days, you get all my tutoring, my flow, my morning videos, my afternoon videos, the subscriber webinar. I'm live 2.5, 3 hours a day. It's all good. So either way. All right. What other charts you guys want to look at tonight? Here's the one I want to look at. Facebook. We'll do Digby. We'll do that one in a minute. So Facebook, you got gaps below and above here, right? You see this chart? Now, I made money short into here. I'm no longer in it. I took it off. I lost a little money yesterday trying to long Facebook. No longer in it. Today it engulfed it. Today it would have worked. I was too busy elsewhere to get into it. You have a big gap above and below. All right? No, Arthur, when I say squeeze, I mean stocks that have a huge short interest, they get squeezed. The way you get shorts out is you start getting to their pain point where they start covering. When they start covering, what they have to do is if you're short stock, the way you get out of it is you buy the stock to cover, which creates more buying. So the more shorts you get to cover and get out of their short positions, the more buying you create in the name. Microsoft. This name catches buying every day. Oh, good earnings, great guidance. Weakness with the tech came in, held the 21-day thing of beauty here, now engulfing this range. Looks like the Qs, right? Looks very much like the Qs, though. So the one thing I would caution you on Microsoft, it's not moving on its own right now. It's moving with the Qs, Don, right? And again, this is one of the things you need to look at right now. Look at your sector. Is it moving much differently, or is it moving with it? That's all you want to do is take a look at some of that stuff like that. Digby, sorry, that was Digby. EOG, they had earnings tonight, right? EOG had big earnings tonight. I think they had a huge hit tonight. Pretty sure they were up big at last I looked. Yeah. No, they're down now a little bit. Okay. EOG had earnings tonight. Again, energy name, nice uptrend intact here at the bottom of the range. As long as it can hold here, I think it's okay. I saw something on EOG here tonight. Just bear with me. I was looking at it. Yeah, EOG, EPS 10-cent beat, rev beat. It was today. All right. Again, energy wakes up. I think this sector, this goes with it. It looks good. It's a nice looking chart. It's holding this uptrend. As long as it holds this uptrend, it's in good shape. Costco. Beautiful candle today in Costco. This name here has been a monster. One of the best to the retailers. Any weakness, they buy this thing on. This looks like it wants to go up and try to break out. It has earnings coming, though, so it hasn't had that yet. M looked like hell yesterday. Little bounce today. It's trying to hold this upper area. I don't have any conviction in M. I got to be honest with you, Don. I wish I could say I did. I've made money on M a couple times this year. Last time I think was into here, some flow into this thing. I caught it, but overall, it's not a bad spot. It's held the 50-day the last couple times it's hit it, so it's a good spot to give it a shot off of. Does that make sense? All right, here, here, here. I kind of like it. What's the other one here? Cat. Cat, guys, you got to be careful with Cat. Cat, Deere, Boeing are all caught up in everything to go along with China. And until that changes, it's just a scalp each way each day. There was flow into it today. It didn't do anything for it. So I just continue to be careful with these names here at this part. Yeah, BA is the same thing, Elizabeth. BA is the same conditions, right? Because of all the China fears. These are all caught up in this problem. All these names here are caught up in there. All right, so you got to kind of keep your eyes on them here, because when there's good news on tariffs in China, they bounce hard. When there's not, they go down. Micron, Don, I'm actually took Micron overnight. I traded it today, made money on it today, and now I'm long it overnight with August 55 calls. And the reason I'm long it is because it's coming off this double bottom here, right? Once, twice. It has, all right, I'm going to do this real quick. I'm in a mood, right? Oops. You got that, and you got that, right? Really easy to see right here. You got a wedge forming right here. Really nice descending channel. What I look for this is a this, and then a this, and get above it. So I'm long some for just a trade. I'm not long for a long time yet, but I'm in as overnight. So, and maybe into next week. We'll see how we react tomorrow. ETE, ETP, they announced a merger today. I don't know that there's anything left here to do in this name right now, Victor. That's why they're up like this. They are the same company anyway, but they announced they finalized their merger agreement today. I don't know if there's anything left to be done here. There's just I don't have a catalyst. I don't know what the next catalyst is there. All right, guys, 2 or 3 more. My voice is really kicking out on me. Nike, nice looking chart. This was great earnings. I wish it hadn't pulled back so much off of that. That was a beautiful earnings gap. But ultimately, it's back above where it broke out from. I like this. This looks like it can run higher, and it cooled off RSI, which is a beautiful thing of beauty. I like Nike. It's a nice play. Avi, Don, Avi's dead money. There's just nothing going on here right now. It's trying to bounce, but everything was all about the buyback, and they did the buyback in such a bad way that it sold the stock off here. You really got to wait for the next drug news there, and I don't know when that's coming, Don. Honest answer. All right, last one, guys, I'm doing is Twitter tonight, and then I'm going to rest my voice, guys. I really hurts here. I apologize. Twitter. So Twitter here, I really wish it would hit the 200-day because I think it would find a host of buyers on the 200-day. That said, there was bullish action in it all day today. It's oversold, and it's still way off the 8-day here, right? The 8-day is still way up here, still well above it. I would look for possibly, now that we're above here, for a move back up maybe towards 34 and reconnect, 34.50 and reconnect with the 8-day and then see what it wants to do from there. I still love the company. I really do. I have a buy on common set at the 200-day at 30.40. I had it at 30.30. It's now at 30.44. I have a buy set for there, but it hasn't gotten there yet. Guys, I appreciate you spending your Thursday night here with me in summer. I love doing these. The next one is on Saturday the 25th. I'll be doing one in the morning. Thanks, Digby. And I'm sorry to cut it short, but I'm just losing my voice here at this point, and that's not a good thing. Thanks, David. You guys, I'll post the replay on Twitter. Everybody have a wonderful night. Enjoy. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, jobs number. First thing we got to watch out for is the jobs number tomorrow. So hopefully we get through that. Hopefully it's what the market wants, and we get a nice day two on the action that we got from today. Good night, guys. Have a good one.